also sit the board as an independent director of a Japanese company, dati Filipino company, ang Japan po. Japan is aging. Nawawalan na ng merkado. Do you realize that you can go to Japan and you can buy a house for only about 2 million pesos? At namimigay pa nga sila ng bahay dahil namamatay na lang po yung mga matatandang ako. May napapagiwanan ng mga bahay. So, naman yung nabenta ko, what? 5 million? May farm pa. Dati tapos may house, interesado ko. Sabi naman po ng partner ko na kasawa yung Japanese, don't attend that practice. Sabi ko, why? Sabi niya, if you want to go to Japan for a vacation, mag-Airbnb ka na lang. Pero kung wala kang tao mag-aalaga niya, hindi naman sa pagnanakaw safe naman doon, ang taxes po napamahal. But the world is changing. Is it okay kung may ikukwento pa sa inyo kung ano yung mga nangyayari sa mundo ngayon? Yes! Mahilig sa marites. Yes, okay. And so, marami na po tayong mga risks na inaabot ngayon sa buhay. Let me give you the following risk. And I hope you're gonna find this useful dahil iba na po talaga ang labanan. First, let me share with you what's happening right now in the whole world because the risks are going higher and higher. Ako naman po, ang aking intention sa buhay is not just to produce leaders because I do leadership training everywhere. I have those children who will become better than me. Ulitin ko I have to raise up children who will become better than me. Why? Because their future and their world will become more difficult than mine. Are you following me? Yes. Iba na po ang buhay ngayon. Kaya hindi na mo gawang biro to eh. This is not the time when we have to understand what's going on. So, let me share with you a couple of things and the risks that you and I will have to face. I was here, 12 years ago in Madrid. Now that I'm back here after 12 years, ang nagbago na po sa akin yung kulay ng buhok ko. Pero ang hindi po nila alam, 12 years ago, nagtitina na ako niyan. Ito po ang tinatawag na pandemic look. Doon na pandemic, hayaan mo na. Ang laki lang natin niyan. Pero nung itim pa yung buhok ko, napapakamalan ako si Joe Malichan. Sa airport, may lumapit siya, Sir, ay sanay na mo ako. Kasi sa Manila, marami nagpapaselfie-selfie sa amin. Sir, pwede mo selfie? Oo, sir, matagal ko na ako. Panalo naman kita. Sana Richard Poon mas bata. At dahil marami yung nagsasabi ng mukha ko si Richard Poon at si Joe Malichan, alam mo, ano yung kalabaw ang ginawa ko? Nag-organize ako ng Valentine's concert. Kinuha ko si Joe, kinuha ko si Richard, kumanta sila, ako naman nagsalita. Munti ko nalugi. And so, things are changing right now, and let me just fix this a little while. Dahil pakikita ko po sa inyo ang ating mga panibagong risks that are affecting your life and my life right now. Let's start first with one. Hindi natin iniintindi ito nung araw, but now, it's everywhere. It's called cyber risk, cyber crime, and ransomware. Suddenly, very vulnerable na po yung mga phones natin, yung mga infrastructure, yung mga IT natin, delikado na. Sino po sa inyo nakakatanggap ng mga spam at mga scam na message? Walang tigil po yan. Padadagdagan pa yan. Marami po tayo mga companies ayaw aminin. Na hostage sila eh. They will have hostage. Until you pay the ransom, you will not be able to access your data or they will reveal your data. Case in point, PhilHealth, tinamaan. Kaya po yung mga authorities sa PhilHealth nagsasabi, we will not pay a ransom for cybercrime and wala naman masyadong privacy na na-violate. Ang ginawa ngayon ng mga kriminal na cyber, unti-unti nilalabas na yung informasyon ng tao. We never had that problem and risk before. cyber risk now is a reality that you I have to face. The next thing I want to share with you when it comes to risk is these are things that you never knew that would happen before. The second thing, I hope you can you show the second one? So after cyber risk, yeah, this is now climate risk. This is going to heavily affect our insurance industry. Noong araw, yung mga insurance masyadong agresibo para makakukuha ng coverage. Ngayon, maraming insurance company bumaback out. Kasi, in America, for example, there are bushfires. Yung Allstate Insurance, ang una sa mga insurance companies na nagsasabing hindi na kami mako-cover, nalulugi sila eh. Climate change. And so, this is very, very real. Hindi mo na maiwasan yan. Let's take a look at the next risk. AI, robotics, or IoT. Noong araw pa, hindi po ako naniniwala that automation technology can replace humans. I never believed in that until today. Are you familiar with ChatGPT? Sino po familiar? ChatGPT? Yeah. O Mordila. Let me explain. Ang ChatGPT is natural artificial intelligence na parang Google. Are you familiar with Google search?
Yeah.
Pero ang mas powerful po siya kaysa sa Google search. Nung tinuro ko po yung ChatGPT sa mga may-ari ng negosyo, tuwang-tuwa, minahal nila ako eh. Bakit po? Anong number one challenge sa mga may-ari ng negosyo? To make a speech. Hindi makatulog yung mga yan. Bilyong-bilyong nga ang pera na, pero kung magbibigay sila ng speech, hindi makatulog. With the use of ChatGPT, I showed them how to do it. So what do you want to talk about? Input po, hack for us. Less than 20 seconds, lumabas ngayon yung speech na. Better than what humans can do. In my company, we replace 4 copywriters with 1 writer and 1 ChatGPT. Ganun po katindi ang effect niya. So, these are the things that are happening right now. Next, financial instability. Bakit? Hindi na kaya ngayon i-hold yung sustainability ng legacy programs natin. Ano yung ibig sabihin ng legacy programs? GSIS, SIS, SSS. Baka hindi na kaya eh. Bakit? Mag-aasa ka, mag-retire ka, pagkatapos hindi ka mabubuhay sa makukuha mo sa SSS, correct? At hindi lang parang, baka maubusin ng pondo. Bakit? Ayaw mamatay yung tao. So habang nabubuhay yung tao, magbibigay ka ng benefit. So that's the situation right now. Kaya nga po, ang problema, kumikita tayo ngayon, dollar pa. Pero we have to look forward and think and project into the future dahil ang bilis po ng oras. Sandali lamang po, 12 years na pala ako. Would you agree with me if I say ang bilis po ng oras?
Yes.
Next, number 5, geopolitical risk. Look what's happening now. Suddenly, Russia and Ukraine, and now Israel and Hamas, and now there's protests everywhere. Umpisa pa lang to. So you never know what's going to happen. And this perennial problem of U.S. tension with China, in which the Philippines might be affected. We have bases eh. Kaya dapat po manalangin tayo na huwag sana tayo masabit dyan sa digmaan na yan na hindi naman natin kailangan. O wala naman tayong kinalaman dyan, pero masasabit po tayo dyan. Geopolitical risk. Next, black swan or pandemic or health risk. Huwag ka magtaka na eh. Number 1 problem sa New York, daga. Problem ngayon sa Paris, bed bugs. When climate risks are happening, you produce new kinds of pestilence and new kinds of famine na wala ito nung araw eh. Filipinas, as usual, cockroach pa rin. Pero sanay na tayo dyan. Pero ang ipis natin, at least reasonable yung size. Ang ipis sa ibang bansa, lalaki, di ba? At ayaw mapatay. Ayaw mapatay. Next, health risk, demographic disruption. Ano yung ibig sabihin niya? Tumatanda na yung tao, pumapasok na ngayon itong mga batang to. Itong mga batang to, ang tawag natin dito, they are the Alpha generation. Yung Alpha generation is very different from Gen Z. Yung Gen Z is different from millennials. Let me ask you a question. How many among you, ako po ay galing sa Boomer generation. Ang Boomer is being pinanganak between 1946 to 1960. Sino po yung kabatch ko dito? Liars go to... Sino naman po sa inyo belongs to, you belong to Gen X. Gen X means 1960 to 1980. Taas ang kamay. Yan. Sino naman po? Millennials. Millennials are people from 1980 to year 2000. Taas ang kamay. Ayan, marami. Pero po akong balita para sa millennials. Ano gusto niyo marinig? Good news or not so good news? Not so good news is that the millennials are getting old. The oldest millennial now is 43 years old. The good news is that the millennials now are in strategic positions for leadership. Sila na yan eh. But Gen Z is entering, at yung mga Gen Z, ibang ugali, ibang attitude, ibang behavior. And just for your information, Generation Z is the biggest demographic segment, the biggest population who will grow up to become atheists. At ito na po nangyayari. Kaya sabi ko sa akin ng mga guidance counselor ng Colegio de San Agustin saka University of St. Lasal, Bacolod, sir, totoo po yan. Ang iniisip ng mga bata, it's cool not to be beating God. No, nagbabago. Maapektuhan talaga ang takbo ng buhay. So, let's take a look at what's happening right now. Well, the first thing that's happening right now is that my notes phone disappeared. So, let me look for that. Yeah, let me open something else. You still with me?
Yes.
So, I'm here to tell you that time passes by so fast. Sabi ng isang matalinong tao, my, how fast time flies. One wise person says, time moves slowly, but time passes quickly. Ang bilis. Parang, uy, tagal naman ang araw na to. Then suddenly, 12 years na pala. Bilis. Kung ayaw na po maniwala sa akin na napakabilis po ng paglipas ng panahon, yung kaibigan ko ay bumaba mo na. Nag-i-expect po siya. At yung nakikita mo siya, maalala niyo ako. At dahil sa bilis po ng paglipas ng panahon, please allow me to be one of the first few people in your life this year to greet you Merry Christmas. Greet me, greet me.
Merry Christmas!
Raise up your right hand. Tap the shoulder, person to your right. Look at that person and greet that person Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Kaliwang kamay naman, kaliwang kamay. Tap the shoulder, person to your left. Greet that person and ask that person na saan na yung regalo mo last year.
Where's my gift?
So many things happening right now. Amazing. Ipapaano ko na lang to. Pag-reset na lang to. And my notes disappear. What is important right now is that you and I, we have limited time. When I was young, I was foolish and stupid. When you're younger, there's a tone of invincibility. Parang Superman ka. Walang mangyayari sa iyo. You never think about the future. But the older I get, the more hospital visitations I have to make, the more funerals I have to attend. I'm just happy it's not mine. And then I realize there's a finality to things in this life. Ang mga panalo sa buhay, they are not just living in the present. Neither are they living in the past. Ang mga panalo sa buhay, they are living in the present but their eyes are focused on the future. Laging tinitignan nila anong mangyayari ngayon. Kaya, nakakatuwa. Isishare ko sa inyo, my advantage is that I was here 12 years ago and now I'm here 12 years after. History is a good teacher. Hindsight is 20/20 vision. Pagkikita ko po sa inyo kung ano yung nangyari. First, let me talk to you about our economy in the Philippines. Maraming salamat po sa servisyo niyo. It's your increasing dollar remittances tsaka yung ating BPO na nabubuhay ng ating ekonomiya. The Philippines is surviving on a consumption economy. Ibig sabihin, tumatakbo ang negosyo dahil gastos tayo ng gastos. Saan nagagaling yung gastos natin? Galing sa mga panalanyo. At tuwing nag-i-increase ang remittances, ibig sabihin, mas marami tayong taong pinapalabas. India was the same situation. India, a lot of them left their country because of poverty. But now, they're going back. In California, for example, in Silicon Valley, ewan ko lang kung napapansin nyo, the president of Microsoft is Indian. The president of Google is Indian. The former president of Pepsi, she's Indian. Ang clients ko ngayon, India. Look, kabisado niyo po yung Splash, Fortaleza, it's now owned by Indians. I am now doing work for Indian companies. Kung titignan po natin, there was a time, pinagmamagay po ng Pilipinas, we have outperformed India in call center industry. We are now bigger and better, and we're number one in call center. That's what you think. India did not lose to the Philippines. India gave it up to the Philippines as they pursued higher value services. Pababa kasi yung bayad sa call center eh. So nag-BPO processing na sila, nag-IT na sila, kaya nga po, India today is the dominant force in platform and services and IT. Are you following me?
Yes.
Pareho naman tayo mahirap, pero they level up. They level up and they level up. Tayo naman, we're still dependent on that. You and I will have to pray na sana naman artificial intelligence will not replace that industry. Or else, the buong industriya naman. Now, let me give you the macro view of what happened naman in the world. Yes, thank you. Ganun ba? Help you. Salary increase pa. I think I trained her too well. Ngayon, right after the Second World War, people left their countries. Hindi naman tayo yung original dito eh. Ang original ng mga OFW natin, mga Ilocano. That's why ang Hawaii is owned by the Ilocanos. Lahat yan, kahit saan ka magpunta, puro awanti kwarta, design yan. Ngayon, Taiwanese left Taiwan because of the continuous spread of mainland China's communism. They all went to California. Koreans, because of the extended Korean War, and Korea was abject poverty. In abject poverty, they were under the classes of IMF. Sino po sa inyo mahilig manood ng K-drama? Taas ang kamay. Yan, buti na lang, may kasama ako rito. Pagkatapos, hirap sila, nagpunta sila sa Korea, nagpunta sila sa US. Are you still following? Japanese also left. Many Japanese settled in Argentina, kaya nga, ang laki ng Japanese community doon. Many of them also went to California. In one generation lamang po, in one generation. What happened now? The Japanese, they controlled the electronic shop. The Taiwanese, they controlled the restaurant and the food shops. The Vietnamese, they controlled the hair parlor shop. And the Filipino, they shop. My first trip to LA, to America, I stayed in the house of a brilliant Filipino film editor, Isagani Pastor. Hindi ko makalimutan niya. Whenever you watch trailers like Star Wars or Disney, siyang gumawa. Because Filipinos are very, very talented and creative.